What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to Texas Podcast. Thank you for all the day ones, all the new subscribers, likes, comments, feedback. Thank you so much. Greatly and genuinely appreciated. How's everybody out there doing, man? Hopefully everybody's having a good Friday. Uh, I ain't been on here a couple of days. Reason is, my health. I just don't. We don't feel like it. So that's why the reason I haven't been on here the past couple of days. I ain't been feeling good and just ain't had the time. Not I got the time. I just ain't been feeling good, so I just been chilling. But today's Friday. I gotta go to a doctor's appointment, so I'm up early. Uh, so I decided to make my little video, see what's going on today. But the heads up. Well, this is what's been going on my side of town, right? Apparently, he's dodging the bullet, right? He's dodging it. He's dodging it, right? He don't want to. He don't want to face the music. He don't want to do what he. We don't want to do it, right? I checked the tracking because once the letter gets sent out, man, it goes through certified mail and post mail. He knocks at your door, and if you don't receive it, all they do is leave uh, like a sticker, man. A little postal note from the post office saying, "Hey, you got some certified mail that you need to go pick it up at the post office." Right? But he ain't gonna do that, man. He's trying to avoid it. You know what I mean? And that's his option, man. He don't. It's not a legal document. He don't have to, right? You don't have to do anything about it, right? But I have video of him acknowledging it through email, right? So it is what it is. He acknowledged he received it. Uh, so far, he's I guess you can say following the rules, right? I haven't seen no videos. I haven't seen no misinformation. Uh, I haven't seen nothing, right? Nothing like how they were doing it in the past with all this misinformation. I haven't seen nothing lately, right? So to me, he acknowledged the letter, right? He acknowledged it, right? Even through it's hurting him and his pride, and uh, he don't want to come out and give me a write out a public apology like it's like a man. Uh, but you can't expect no different from you know from a character of this type of. You can't expect too much, right? In situations like this, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, right? It's like a little kid, man. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, right? So he acknowledged it, right? I haven't seen no videos of misinformation in the past couple of days. I'm surprised. I'm surprised I haven't seen no videos of misinformation, right? I got an interview coming up, man. I just need to fucking, but once I'll probably do it next week, man. Next week I get my medication, and I should be feeling good for a couple of days after I get my medication. I usually do, man. Like right now I feel like shit, man. I feel so and even I feel I got like a fucking like a cold or some shit. I hate that shit, man. I get congested and bullshit, but that's just the shit I have to deal with, man. So hopefully, once next week I get my medication, my fusion, my monthly medication, I should be feeling at least, for a couple of few days, once the medicine uh kicks in, and I be feeling a little bit alive. You know what I mean? I'll have a little pep in my step, but it don't last too long. Uh, that's why I've been telling you I got an interview coming up, man. I do, man. You know what I mean? I do. I just sometimes I just don't feel like doing it, man. I just don't. And now that these guys ain't, now that they really ain't doing no misinformation videos, they 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 ain't really getting me mad. You know what I mean? It's like uh most of my videos were defense videos, man. Right? So now that I have nothing to defend myself against, it's pointless. I have no how can I say aggravation to get off my chest. That's why, my health, and I've been waiting to see if they uh drop any kind of misinformation videos, man. Get me going, give me a rush of adrenaline or something. But I haven't seen nothing, man. Right? And I'm not the type of guy that winds himself up. I need somebody. I need something to wind me up, right? I need to see something or hear something that'll piss me off, and then I'll go off of that, right? But right now, man, you know, uh, they ain't been dropping no misinformation videos, no lies, and that was my whole goal, man. Even out the playing field, right? Even it out, man. Even it out. Stop extending the goalpost. Uh, Stop with all the lies. Stop with all the narrative, and just come with solid, concrete evidence. That's it. The interview I got coming up, man, should be a good one, right? I mean, it's going to be basically like a catch up, man. It's going to be a catch up with this person. This person's been on here before, and they got very good insights and knowledge of what took on, and their experience and whatnot, right? Uh, they've been on here before, so it's not going to be nobody new, and it's not going to be nobody I ain't seen before. It's going to be somebody I've seen before, right? So, but I've been just I didn't even reply back to that person, man. I need to reply back to them right now after I get off of this shit, just so we can set up a time next week and knock that interview out the way. Continue my stories of Mark Moore, man. I went window shopping right now. What I call window shopping, right? I went to go over there, check the channels out, see what's going on, anything brewing, anything steaming, anything. Nothing, right? So I go read his shorts, right? And he got a short on there about I guess his girlfriend's getting mad of his interactions with another man. Ain't that a bitch, man? Your old lady getting mad at you because you talking to men on social media. That's telling me something, man, that she's catching on, right? That she's catching on. Because my wife ain't ever had a problem me talking to another man, right? I don't think she ever had a problem. Her problems were always I better not be talking to any coworkers or any females, females, which is rightfully so, right? How you doing, Sweet Sue? I'm doing pretty good, Sweet Sue. Just I got my health. That's what I told everybody before, man. The only reason that I won't be on here is because of my health. All right. Uh, my health is kicking my ass, so I can't really win that battle with this. So that's the only time I'm going to be off the internet, man. It's because of health issues, right? Uh, nothing else. It's just sometimes I just don't feel like it, and I just, you know, uh, I'd rather just be laying down, man. Just rather be, watching TV or uh, doing me. You know what I mean? And uh, I just do this to show people that I'm not running or I'm not hiding. I'm not ducking. I'm still showing my face around, man. I'm still here. Uh, yeah, I was. I just, man. What's it called? Like right now, I like to do my lives early, man. I get up early and I try to do my physical therapy. I try to get it because then I try to keep the rest of the day for my kid, man, for my son. You know, uh, he likes to go out there and play baseball, and I watch him, and or he likes for me to just sit there next to him while he watches while I watch him play his game. He just wants me to be there, so uh, I'd rather just be there with him, right? Just watch him play and watch him argue with other kids online. So it's not. I don't want people to think, man, that I'm dodging and smoking or no. It's just my health, man. My health is just. I just don't feel like it, man. Sometimes it's just like today I just did it because I got a doctor's appointment right now in the next hour or so, and I was up and I'm like, man, I haven't did a video. I don't want people to think that I'm dodging or running. Uh, that's far from it. I just the only reason I will never get on here, man, is because of my health, man. And like I said, man, I suffer from not only physical, man, but mental. I suffer from mental disability as well. Uh, like sometimes, you when you just don't want to do it, you just don't want to do it, man. And like I said, I haven't seen any of these guys post any misinformation videos about me, right? And that was really the whole fight that I had, right? I'm gonna still be talking about Mark, right? About his deviancies and you know bringing people up from his past that know him, right? That want to interview and tell their side of the story, uh, how it affected them and shit like that, right? I mean, uh, all I'm doing is what a content or a journalist does, man. Find a story and runs with it. I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm not talking bad about anybody other than their own actions and statements, right? And the thing about it, man, is that yeah, thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing, man. You know, I don't I don't make money off of this, right? And even if I did, it's like I want to do this as my job. This is not like a job for me. This is just more it's therapy. See, he he made a comment about saying that this how can this be therapeutical for me, right? But for a person like me, it's therapeutical, man. Because I don't. It's still on, bro. It's still on, bro. It's still on. You know what I mean? It's still on, man. It's still on. I'm just like right now, my wife, right? My wife, she's like, leave them dudes alone, right? Leave them alone. If they haven't said anything about you, leave them alone, right? Leave them alone. Right? She goes, don't go over there and start making videos and doing this or that, right? I'm like, man, but I still haven't got the truth. We want the truth. We got to get to the truth. We still haven't got to the truth. And that's the whole reason I came on this, right? Was to know the truth. And all along, this character, right? This character and his cronies, instead of getting to the truth, they spend their whole fucking time spinning their own narrative about me, right? And then people ask, well, why didn't you come in here and defend yourself, right? Be like, well, how do you want me to defend against lies? How? I haven't met a person that can sit there and deal with lies and being accused and just be calm and collective, especially when it's some crazy foul charges, right? If I felt Mark was guilty of something, you know what I did? I did my homework, due diligence, research, found people, read reports, documents, interacted, interviewed people, right? I didn't just go based off uh my ass. And Mark still has not been able to say anything, right? Or he continues to deny everything, right? Me, I can't defend him. I can't defend myself on when people have paint you in the worst negative light. It's kind of hard to defend yourself from it, right? Especially when there's so many people going along with it. How can you actually defend it? You can't, right? The only way you're gonna be able to defend lies is if you start lying. Right? If you start lying, then that defeats the whole purpose. Then you're not you that's not you, right? That's not me. In order for me to defeat those lies, I would have to start lying. Because the truth is in the documents, man. The truth is in the documents. But the truth doesn't fit their narrative, right? It doesn't fit their narrative. That's just like me finding fake victims of Mark, right? Do you know how easy it would be for me to find people? Do you know how many times Hips and other people had ideas of finding friends to portray people that knew Mark? Do you know how easy that was? Do you know how easy that would have been for me? Honestly, Hips say, "Hey, I got a buddy that was at Limestone with me too. He wants to tell a couple of stories." But I chose not to go that way. I chose to go with the facts. It could have been real easy for me to make content, right? Hips, bring another white dude. What's the white dude's name that was there? We're gonna say he's Mark's victim. I could have gone it that way, and it would have been some good content, right? Scandalous drama, but that wouldn't have been the truth, man. That wouldn't have been the truth. That would have been good content, good entertainment, good views, but it defeats the whole purpose of why I do it for. Is for the truth. People get misunderstood. People get misunderstood that I was just a content creator waiting in the background, looking for some story. Right? Yes, I had done videos of my past, right? Of where I grew up. But people have to understand that those videos were done at a time when I had just had got back surgery, right? I didn't have nothing to do. I was watching YouTube and I figured, hey, let me go in there and tell a few stories on my past, right? And that was it. I wasn't expecting to become a content creator or making this my 9 to 5. No, it was just somebody that had extra time on their hand and seen people doing on YouTube and I say, hey, let me give it a try. That's it. Right. I'm more of a YouTube watcher, man, than an action content creator. Right. I'm not editing. I'm not at home thinking about content to do. I'm not uh, reviewing, studying, practicing. I'm not doing none of that shit. Right. If anything, I'm just watching YouTube all day long. So when I came across this Dante show about a year ago, I was just part of the audience, intrigued by the story. See, it's therapeutical for me too, because people don't understand that when I'm 40 something years old, man, and this social media has helped me uh with conflict resolution, man. It's helped me a lot with conflict resolution, man. That most of the times that when somebody would offend me and they lived close by or I knew where they lived at, man, it was easier to just, to go get your anger out of the way, right? You pull up and whatever comes, win, lose, or draw. Fuck it. But now, you're 40 something and you're a grandfather and you can't really be thinking that way anymore, man. You got to be thinking like a civilized person to be able to deal with your emotions, right? I'm an emotional person, man. When I tell you I love you, I love you. And when I tell you I hate you, I hate you. Right? Once you burn bridges with me one time, that's it, man. That's it. I'm a hateful person, man. But also when I love you, I love you. When I tell you I love you, I'll die for you. When I tell you I hate you, I'll kill you. All right. That's just the way it is, man. So this YouTube has helped me with the conflict resolution. Right. And a lot of people think, man, well, fuck, you're a fucking idiot for being 40 something years old and not being able to how to hold how to resolve conflict. I just can't, man. It's just, you know, uh, that's why I would always work by myself uh, at every job I would go, right? Because it's like I wouldn't need people around me, man. And it was most of the time a conflict. If I worked with somebody, it was most of the time it's going to turn out to a conflict, man. All right. It was 9 out of 10 times the bosses already knew let that dude work by himself, man. He's gonna get the shit done anyways. Let him go. All right. Just leave him alone. Let him be. Because when they would try to put people with me, it was always gonna be a conflict, man. Right. And there were so many times of me clocking out and telling people, fuck, let's go to the parking lot, right? And it's sad, man. Being so old and not being able to have a simple conversation with somebody without resulting into violence. Right. And this right here has been my biggest fucking hurdle, obstacle that I've gone in life. You might not believe it, but this has been the most uh traumatic, uh horrible experience that I've gone through in my life. Because it's emotional, man. It's emotional. This past year has been nothing but emotional distress, man. And for somebody that suffers from mental health, man, it's fucking it's tormenting, man. It's tormenting because it's like you get so fucking riled up and you can't do nothing, right? It's like what can you do, right? So it helped me out, man. Before I would get worked up, man, and like I told you, man, like fuck, they spray painted my fucking fence, right? And what did I do, man? I stayed up all fucking night for like 2 days, man, just looking at my cameras, right? Just looking at my cameras. Everybody's fucking asleep in my house, and I'm just right there like a fucking like a tweaker, right? Just looking at my cameras, man. Right? Just waiting for these motherfuckers to walk by. So it's like, man, you know, I thank him too, man. Now you're not old. You're not old, Tejas, man. I just feel old, bro. You know, it's just because I feel old, man, because I jumped off the porch at a young age, man. You know, I jumped off the porch at 12, 13, 14, and I grew up too quick, man. I grew up too quick, man. I grew up, you know, around man and dudes and you know, being young. It's like I grew up too quick, man. You know, and the type of dudes that I was hanging with, that the older guys, man, they were savages, man. You know, they were savages. They weren't the fucking Boy Scout leaders type of guys. You know what I mean? These were fucking savages. And I call them savages because when you see these guys in work, man, it's like, you know, there's things that I just wouldn't do, right? Like females and kids, you know, those really off limits, man. And uh but these guys didn't care, man. You know, these guys just didn't fucking they didn't care. To them, it's for whatever's inside that house, that's what they wanted. Right. And fuck whoever's in there. Right. And that's just the way these guys were, right? Uh me, I I didn't like doing that type of stuff, right? But these dudes were, they didn't care who they tied up, right? They didn't care basically, right? I did, man. To me, it was like uh when it's a dude, it's easier, man. You know, when it's you slap that dude around, you pistol whoop him, just it's a lot easier, man. You know? So I just grew up too fast, too young, man. Right? Because I look at these kids, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I look at my son, he's 20, right? And I see his life, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, whatever, bro. You know what I mean? With your lifestyle, I was living it at 12, 13 years old, but go ahead. We eat to each their own, right? So that's kind of fucked me up too, man. Right? When my son was growing up, I was measuring his fuck ups to my fuck ups, right? But even through his fuck ups were fuck ups, I was like, they're not too bad of a fuck ups, right? They're not as bad as my fuck ups. So I wouldn't really put an eye to it, right? Be like, yeah, he's fucking up, but not as bad. You know, he's a kid. He's a boy. So that's what boys do, right? Growing up in the city. Like I said, man, growing up in the city as a man, as a boy, there's only three options for us, man. You're gonna sell dope, you're gonna rob, or you're gonna become a dope fiend, man. And that's the reality that it is, man. It's just the way it is. If you're not gonna be a civilized kid by going to school, graduating, and going that road, right? But if you're gonna go to the streets, those are the three options that we have as men, right? We can't sell our ass, right? We can't do it like women. Women can just go to the corner and they'll have, it's like a walking ATM, right? Basically, we don't have that option. We don't have that option. So as a man or as a boy growing up in the streets of the city streets, there's only three options, man. If you choose not to go to school, it's sell dope, rob, or you become a dope fiend. I've seen it coming up, right? I've seen it coming up. There's only so many people that can sell dope, man, because not everybody can sell dope. Not everybody has the mentality or everybody has the connection, right? So what does that leave? Okay, now that leaves robbing, right? Robbing, there's all types of robbing, right? There's robbing convenience stores, there's breaking into houses, there's anything of theft, right? Stick up kid, purse snatcher, breaking an auto, breaking into a house, any kind of, anything. That's breaking. That's the only thing we can do, right? Or we just become plain out dope fiends. That's just the honest truth, man. I mean, there's not too much of outcome for us for a male. living in the streets, man. Coming to the streets. There isn't. Well, at least not when I was growing up, right? And I'm pretty sure nothing's changed, man. I can still go back to my neighborhood and it'll still be the same thing, man. There'll be little kids, there'll be young kids right there trying to figure out what they're going to become. Are they going to become the next neighborhood pusher? Or are they going to become the next jack boy that everybody around the neighborhood knows? Hey, watch out for that dude, because that boy, he'll tie your bitch ass up and throw you in the trunk. Right? We all become something, man. You know, my homeboy that showed me the ropes was the motherfucking neighborhood jacker, right? Everybody knew this motherfucker that, hey, keep your distance away from this dude, right? You let him know too much, he's gonna set you up. That's just the way he was, right? Everybody in the fucking hood knew him. That he was a shady motherfucker, right? He was a shady motherfucker. This dude, this dude, I'm gonna tell you this dude back. We had traps on 635 and Forest Lane in the north side, right? They got raided in, so we had to go up. We had to go up to a little bit up to 75 and Mayhem. Mayhem and 75. We had to move our little operation up there, right? But when we move our operation over there, there's already people up there, right? There's already people that already live over there that, we're the outsiders now. We're the outsiders. So once we get over there, we set up our shops, we put our workers in, and they in matter of days, right? They get kicked in, they get robbed, right? We knew it was gonna happen. That's the way it works over here, right? For everybody that doesn't know, this is the way it works over here, man. This is the way we used to do it, right? When we wanted to go over to somebody's spot, or somebody would come over to our spot, we knew that we were either gonna get robbed or our shit was gonna get shot up. Right? Two things. They're coming in or they're gonna just shoot up the whole place. It's just a matter of time. Right? We would do the same thing. That's the tactics that we would use over here, right? We go shoot up the whole place, or we going in, and that's the violence, man. When I grew up doing that shit, man, at a very young age, man. To where you got homeboys that'd be like, man, look, I only want to go with you, bro. I don't want to go with none of these other dudes, right? I just want to go with you, right? Because a lot of these dudes, man, would go high, man. They would need to get high, right? I mean, not I get high, but I smoke weed, man. I don't do that other bullshit of that's fucking like uppers and shit, right? A lot of these dudes will get fucking smoke ice and shit just to be able to do something. Uh, So that's why YouTube has helped me, man. YouTube has helped me with therapeutical, man. Conflict resolution, right? Because like I said, man, we would do some stupid shit for people just moving into the neighborhood, right? Uh, but we knew that they were moving in to try to move on our spot, right? So it was just a matter of time before they shot up our shit. But see, the thing was, when we would shoot up their shit, man, it's not really to hit anybody, right? It's just really just to get them out the spot, right? Because eventually the neighbors and everybody around that facility is going to go complain to the office, right? They're going to go complain to the office and be like, hey, that apartment just got shot up. So now the manager and they're going to go over there and look and be like, okay, this got shot up. What happened? And they're going to evict that person from there, right? Once they see that, hey, what are y'all doing here? This ain't the first complaint. And, we've already been getting complaints from y'all that y'all have traffic So y'all gonna have to evict the property. So that's the purpose of shooting people's shit up, man. It wasn't just to, to hit them, right? Because if we wanted to hit them, we just wait for them to come out, right? It's just more of a scare tactic. Hey, the neighbors were gonna go and complain, and they'll be gone by then, right? And that's just the tactics that we would use over here. I'm pretty sure they still use it, man. I mean, so growing up, it's such violence. Uh, Therapy hasn't even been able to do it, right, man? Because I go talk to this. I don't know if he's fucking Nigerian or Congo. He's African descent, man. His name's Peter, man, right? I know his name ain't Peter, right? He must have changed his name when he got Americanized, right? He's a cool dude, man. I tell him my stories and shit, and I know sometimes he just looks at me like I'm just some crazy motherfucker, right? But I'm like, dude, it's like you can't just tell people shit, man. As my wife gets mad, she's like, man, you talk to YouTube more than what you talk to us. Right? Because she sees me out there talking to my motherfucking self, right? She be knocking on the window. You all right? But I'm like, I don't know. Maybe nothing wrong with I guess she can see my lips moving, and I'm talking to myself, right? And I've been with her for 16 years, so she probably already figured me out. Right? She got me locked tight. She knows when I'm up. She knows when I'm down. She knows. She already knows, right? And but it helps me, man, because she knows, man. She knows. She knows. She's like, uh, YouTube helps me, and at the same time, it gets me mad, right? But it used to get me mad with just the misinformation, man. I'm not saying I'm a perfect angel by no means, right? By no means am I an angel or a preacher boy. By no means, right? But the shit that they were saying about me, not true, man. Misinformation. I've done some shit, right? But not no shit like that, right? And the truth is that if they would go look at the documents and they would see what it really is, man. But see, I can't really. Uh, if I tell you, it's like you're not gonna believe me, man. It's not. You're not gonna believe me, right? Oh, so that's why everything's public knowledge. Everybody can look it up. Everybody can dissect it and be like, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. But they have chose not to, right? Because I'm pretty sure they did, and they realized, hey, it's not what it is, right? Because it doesn't fit the narrative. By no means am I perfect, right? I never claimed to be perfect. I got a past just like everybody else, man. It's not a fucking kumbaya and a happy merry-go-round all the time, right? But it's just my life ain't no different than every other youth that grows up in the inner city, man. My story ain't no different, right? We all got the same fucking story, man. There's only three options that I see for a man in the streets. Three options. If you're not gonna go to school and go to work, you have three options. You're either gonna be a dope pusher, a jack boy, or just you're gonna succumb to the environment, either become an alcoholic or just a dope fiend. Those are the three options that I've seen And I've seen the outcomes of it, and there's only that's it. There ain't too much a man can do, right? There's not too much. We can only do those three options, right? And the sad thing that all those three options are going to lead us to prison, right? If you go look at why every man's in prison, right? Why are you in prison for? Pushing dope. Why are you in prison for? Breaking into houses. Why are you in for? Because I was hooked on heroin and I was breaking and robbing people. Right? You go see why they're why all every dude's in prison, right? It's because hey, those are the three things right there, man. We don't have too many options for a male. I mean, and that's the thing, man. That hopefully, man, if God, God blesses me one day, man. I would like to go back to my old community center, man, my old rec center, man. And show these dudes that there's something better, man. Stop the cycle, man. Stop the cycle from so many young dudes just repeating the same shit over and over. But man, there's so many persons like myself that realize that what they were doing in the past was wrong. And maybe with the knowledge that they picked, man, I picked up so much knowledge, right? In my 40 something years of life, I picked up so much knowledge, right? Like as knowledge, as far as knowledge to put food on my table, right? Man, I can fix air conditioners, HVAC. I can do electrical. I can do plumbing. I can do carpentry. The only thing I can't do is framing and roofing, right? Framing and roofing, I've never tried, right? I've never tried roofing. I'm scared of heights. I've never tried framing, right? But everything else I can do, right? I can fix any type of electronics, right? I can read schematics. I can solder. I can weld a little bit. I can fix on cars. I've picked up so many skills, life skills, right? During my 40 years, I've picked up so much bullshit, so much knowledge, right? That I'm like, man, if I would have just known all this fucking knowledge at 12, 13, 14 years old, my life would have been a whole totally different outcome, man. But I chose the easy way out, right? I chose the easy way of being a street pharmaceutical, right? It was easier for me, right? I had older brothers that were already doing it, and it was easier for me to just to get ask my brother, hey, let me have something or toss me something, right? And that's how I got started, right? I got started by finding my own customers. Once my brother seen, oh, you got your own customers, here you go. Get on your feet, right? He showed me the knowledge. I picked up the knowledge of the game and I went with it, right? So it's the same thing, man. I wish somebody uh would have showed me differently, right? And I know that there's like-minded people, man. There's other people like myself that went through their trials and tribulations and they picked up knowledge of whatever. Uh, and if you could put all those people together, man, on a weekend and show these guys at a community center that it's possible, show them game, even taking these guys with you on a weekend on a side gig, be like, come on, man, I'm gonna take two of y'all dudes with me, and y'all can go with he got something going over there with him, and y'all gonna learn something this weekend. Take them out how it feels, how to work out there in the sun, take your lunch break, how it feels good to earn your money. It feels a lot better than kicking in the door or selling a $10 rock. I think I've made more money being an average citizen, man, than I ever did uh, selling dope. Right. And I've been in fucking you know, the past is the past, right, man? It is what it is. But I've made more money being a average Joe, right? Like when I started becoming an average citizen, man. Once I had my kid, I had to start off from the beginning, man. I had to be 20 something years old, starting off at the bottom pole of a warehouse job, right? Starting off as a material handler, right? And then working your well, what do they do here? Oh, they fix electronics, right? But they want people with degrees and they want people with some kind of fucking background in electronic repair. But you work good enough as a material handler that like that when you ask, hey man, you think y'all can train me or give me an opportunity to be there? They'd be like, look, we got two areas, man. We got the electronic repair and then we got the refurbished area. The refurbished area is basically the plastics, right? The housings of the electronics. The techs down there, they repair the components, whatnot, and then they come down here and you put the housings on it together. We'll start you off there, right? We're not gonna start you off at the repair electronics here. We're gonna put you into the refurbished area, the housing, like where you just put it together, right? And you go off of that. And then I worked myself up to the electronic repair, man, where it's nothing but Asian fucks, nothing but Vietnamese, right? How to learn how to do schematics, how to read the schematics, how to test the components, how to replace the components. And these are cell phones and pagers and cameras and camcorders and DJ equipment, stuff that I never imagined that I would be repairing, right? Even them little kiosks from Chili's, them little when you go to Chili's, they got them little tablets there. I repaired so many of those for the Chili's, man. Just so much stuff that I wish when I was young, somebody would have laced me up and said, "Man, fuck the streets, man. The streets, they might seem that the streets are golden right now, man, but don't take that route, bro. It's just a temporary, right? And they can take it away right away. They'll take it away right away. If they don't confiscate it, you're gonna waste money fucking defending yourself and trying to get less time. And then when you do go to jail, you might as well forget about all your shit out here, right? Shit gonna get sold off. It's gone, right? It is what it is. You need money on your books, your family. So in time, it goes quick, man. And then you're left again with zero. You're starting off all over again. Now you got a background. It sucks, man. It sucks. Uh, when I first got out of prison, man, it sucked, man. Right? I would go to temp services, and temp services, oh, you have to wait 5 years. You have to wait 5 years. You just got out of prison. You have to wait 5 years. I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I have to wait so much longer, man? I want to go to work, man. So you're telling me everywhere I go, she goes, yeah, everywhere you go, they're gonna tell you have to wait 5 years to apply for temps. I'm like, how the fuck is that's bullshit? She goes, that's everywhere. So man, I can remember my first job when I got out of prison, man. It was at a golf course. A golf course in this fucking summer heat, man, like 100 something, right? But I was already used to working in the fields, right? And that's what good thing I'm grateful of Texas prison, right? That I'm grateful, man, because I don't think if me going to Texas prison and working in the fields for free, it implemented something in me, man. A work ethic, right? A work ethic. A work ethic that I have seen my parents have, right? Because my parents have always been providers, man. 9 to 5ers, not no lawbreakers, contributing members of the society, man. They don't. They pay their taxes. They go to work. They do what they have to do for over 50 something years, right? But working in them Texas fields, man, they implemented something, right? To be like, well, fuck, if I'm out here fucking working for a simple the reason I was working in the fields was for me not to get my not to catch a case, right? Because you catch a case, man, to take your commissary away and to take your visits away, right? So in reality, I was working for my visits and my commissary. Right? I wasn't getting paid, but I knew if I laid it down, they were going to write me up. They were going to give me a case. I wasn't going to get no commissary, and I wasn't going to get no visits. My privileges were going to get taken away, right? If I just didn't get up and go to work. So that implemented something in me, man. So that when I came out, I'm like, man, fuck it. As long as these motherfuckers pay me, I don't care a fuck what it is. Right? I don't care, right? As long as they ain't telling me to do some fag shit or jump off the building, hey, I'm all game. And that's why I was able to learn so much shit, man. Right? So much shit. I went to Lincoln Tech for automotive, right? I learned how to do automotive there. So I have I picked up so much knowledge, man. You know, during it's like a sponge, man. You know, that I was able to use to be able to be a provider for my family, man. That I was never scared to do any kind of job, man. Anything, right? Any kind of work. It didn't matter, man. Even if I didn't know it, I would know it in a few minutes. It don't take me that long to figure something out, man. And especially today's technology, man, you got everything at the palm of your hands. Everything, man. If you want to learn how to tear down the engine, watch YouTube. Right? A dude will walk you step by step on how to swap out an engine. Now it's going to be up to you on how you able to digest and absorb that information, right? Because at the end of the day, it all depends on you. You can sit there and this guy can explain you the best teacher, but it's all the way how you absorb it and you put it into play. A lot of people still need to be guided in life, right? Even through everything you need in life is at the palm of your hands, man. Everything. And having a home, having a home, man, you learn so much shit, man. Right? Having a home, it's like, why pay somebody while you can Google and do it yourself, man? You do it yourself. In Texas, man, it gets so hot, right? That the ACs get clogged up. They build that fucking fungus. It's like a it's like mucus that gets starts forming in the machines, man, in the summertime. So it clogs up the drainage line. Right? It's a simple fix, man. A simple fix of cleaning the line. You either got to splice it, blow it out. It's a simple repair, man. Right? But that simple repair, you can charge somebody from 150 to 250. Right? And if you're fast and efficient, man, that's like a 30-minute job real quick, man. A 30-minute job to an hour. Somebody wants a sprinkler head repair. You got to go find where it's leaking at. A simple splice of that pipe, once you dig, man, another 250. So much of these jobs that are trade jobs, man, as far as plumbing, electrical, HVAC, man, I wish I would have picked up on these trades when I was younger, man, and physically capable of doing it, right? Even as a simple handyman, right? As a simple handyman that knows how to do HVAC, carpentry, plumbing, electrical. People think electrical is complicated. Electrical is real easy, man. As long as you're not scared of it, and you do, you take the proper precaution, man. Don't play around with it. Always turn off the main. If you can, turn it off. But see, sometimes you gotta go and have the city to turn it off, or you gotta turn it off from the main. And so sometimes you can't. But then that's when you say, "Hey, I'll pass on that, man." You can those $250 ain't really worth it. I'll catch it on the next one. It's just so much. There's so much stuff, man, that I would like to go back to my neighborhood, hopefully one day before I die, and show the young dudes around there something, man. Show them that it's different. That it's not just about selling dope, and they can become something, man. Because it's possible, bro. I know there's kids like me just looking for something to get themselves into, man. If somebody would have showed me and picked me up and said, "Hey, man, let's go. Look, let me go show you how to do this, do that," instead of showing me how to go sell dope and kick doors and rob folks, hey, I think I would have preferred the other option. You know what I mean? Because that other one is just nothing but it's temporary, man. It's a temporary, and it's not worth it with the trauma that it comes with, man. The heartaches and it's not really worth it. If I could, man, I would rather be a square person, man, and that's why I'm raising a square person now. With this son that I have, my second one, I'm raising him as a square, man. A croc wearing little square, man. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with Crocs, man. But to me, it's just a certain type of character that wears Crocs, man. I don't know. It's just I just like people stereotype. I stereotype people that wear Crocs. You know what I mean? Um, Fathers wear Crocs. There's a lot of fathers that wear Crocs, so you can't really, say, it's just certain type of characters that wear Crocs. You know what I mean? And you can pin them out. You know what I mean? Fathers, lazy dudes. Uh, it's just whatever you want it, man. To me, Crocs. I just see them in a different light. I mean, to me, Crocs are like a squarish type of guy. You know what I mean? Like a nerdy, like uh, especially because they be putting them extra little buttons on it. You know what I mean? Like my son, he can't get Crocs because then he wants to get them fucking little tabs that go inside the Crocs, right? To style him up, right? I guess as you would say, style him up. And I don't know, man. It's. But I'd rather have a square any other day, man, than having a mini me, right? And I would rather have a contributing member from society at a young age than the fuck up, man. But see, I have gold, man. Hopefully, God gives me the opportunity, man. To go back to my neighborhood and document it, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. There's a lot of things I want to do, man. But I need to first I need to get right with God, man. That way, let the man guide me, and I don't know, man. That's my thing right there. I just need to get right with him first, man. I know once I do everything else, should fall in place, man. Like by no means, man. I'm not rich, man. I'm not rich. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm just like everybody else, man. I'm just day by day. Uh, I'm content. I'm content in life, right? I'm content. I'm happy. Uh, I don't have any like. How can I tell you, man? This YouTube was my only stress, and that's sad to say, man. Right? This YouTube. That's what I told you earlier, man. This YouTube shit. It's one of the things that one of my most horrific life experience that I've gone through, man. Uh, and to people, it might seem, oh man, to you, you might be weak minded or whatnot or whatever. Okay, to you, you might think I'm cool with that, right? But for me, this shit has been the longest tormented experience of my lifetime, man. Right? And I've gone through shit, right? But the shit I've gone through is like physical shit, right? And it's like being shot at, stabbed at, shit like that, right? It's physical too. It's like, all right, it's cool, you know what I mean? But the emotional shit is like you really can't especially when you ain't got no control of it, or it kills you, man. That's why I ain't have no fucking gray hair on my mustache, on my beard, man. Now look at my beard. My beard's all fucking gray. Uh, Before my beard, I didn't, it's not like I got a big beard to begin with, right? But when the hairs that I did have, they were black. Now the motherfuckers are gray, and it's like, what causes all this bullshit, right? Fucking bitch ass fucking YouTube bullshit, right? Because I don't have any fucking drama in my life, right? I don't have any kind of negativity going on. Like it was this bitch ass fucking YouTube. Oh, I don't know, bro. I don't know where Young Blood's at. I haven't I don't know. I think he's out there doing I think Young Blood's out there doing this. I don't know. I honestly haven't talked to him, man. I haven't texted him. I haven't texted him. And I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I haven't texted him. See that's the thing. That has man that there's nothing wrong with that, bro. That's what a man's supposed to do, man. I wish I would have picked up all that knowledge at a young age, man. The trade knowledge. And that's the thing, man, that if we can help and prevent futures to avoid it, we did our part, man. That's what I want to do, man. And I'm thinking about doing that, man. I think I don't know, man. It's just I even called the rec center one day, right? I'm like, because I had some extra cash that day, right? I'm like, hey, how can I drop off a gift card from Foot Locker, right? I was thinking about dropping off a $200 gift card and giving it to the clerk and letting them decide on a kid that they felt should deserve that gift card, right? Because I would go to the rec every day, man. Every day I would go to the rec, and I mean, you see the kids who, thank God, my mom and dad were a provider, right? And then you see the kids, you know, that the parents were either on drugs or, not there, right? You could tell. So there's always somebody in need, man. There's always a kid. The reason I started fucking selling dope, man, was because I wanted nice stuff, man. I wanted Jordans. I wanted polo boots. No, back then there were Timberland and polo boots, right? I wanted nice stuff, man. But my only options that I'd seen when I was growing up was either to take it or sell dope to be able to get it. I'm not a big guy, so know, I'm not too intimidating. So I couldn't really be too much of a jacker, right? I mean, not until I started getting older and having my guns, and then the guns were the equalizer, right? Then the gun made me into a 6 foot giant. It became the equalizer. I was equal to the size, right? But back then, as a kid, uh, it was easier for me to be a pusher, right? Uh, Break it down the pack and sell the pack to adults, right? Because I was basically I was basically getting my brother's leftovers customers, or the customers he just didn't want to fuck with, right? Basically, I I I, I dealt with this trash customer who eventually became my customers down the road, right? People that knew, hey, they would ask my bro the story. Hey, my bro would just ignore them, right? Because he thought everybody was a fucking cop. He wouldn't deal with not everybody. But not me, man. When I was young, I would wait at the C store. Right. This is how I would pull all my customers, man. I would be at the C store, just posted up at the C store, waiting by the payphones. As soon as I see somebody get off the car, I see what kind of car they're driving. I look at them. I'd be like, all right, yeah, that guy's a smoker with money. So I go in there, go give me a soda, give me some candy, and I get behind the dude while he's paying. Right. While he's paying, I'm seeing what he's buying. Right. I'm seeing if he goes for if he asks the clerk for a pipe. Right. If I see him ask for one of them flowers, I said yes, he's a smoker. Right. So I see him get his little rig, and uh, I approach him. Here you go, buddy. Here goes a freebie on me. Hit me up. A lot of them would be like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do that shit, bro. What do they would come up to me because they'd see me as a young kid, right? But they just didn't fucking realize that I was just standing behind them, looking at them what they were buying. So that's how I would get most of my clientele, man. And I ended up getting a good clientele, man. I ended up getting Asian, white dudes, uh, and high clientele like that, man. I had an Asian dude that owned 7 restaurants on Harry Hines, man. Korean dude. He was a Korean man. Kwang Pak. Kwang Pak. Right. His family had 7 fucking Oriental businesses on Harry Hines, man. All restaurants. If you know Harry Hines, man, all that shit's Oriental, man. It's just the Koreans and Vietnamese and whatnot. But man, hopefully, one day, man, I don't know, man. I just need a because even at my mom's church, man, even at my mom's church, I used to go there as a kid, man, and there used to be dudes, right? Uh, we used to have the dudes that used to come in there and be uh, like myself, what I want to do, right? Like what I want to do right now, right? Like I want to go back and help the youth, right? And hopefully they can learn from my mistakes, right? But a lot of these dudes that were going to my mom's church and speaking about that, they were, like I said, on the streets as a man, you can either be uh, the dope pusher, burglar, or the just the right out dope fiend, right? But nine out of 10 times, the people that are burglarizing and jacking, they're doing it to support their habit as well, right? So out of those three options, man, the one that's kind of I guess doesn't have higher morals or is- would be the pusher, right? Because he's not really doing nothing. He's just getting something and breaking it down, right? And it's leaving it up to them people if they want it or not. Nobody's being forced. Nobody's like, hey, you're gonna buy this or not. No, right? It's just like you're supplying demand, man. You're getting something somebody wants and you're supplying it and you're meeting the demand. Or you're not forcing anybody to do anything that they don't choose not to. You put a price on it, you put it out there, they want it, they pay for it, they don't. Now robbing is, hey, you're taking something by force, man. You're or you breaking into somebody's house, you're fucking, breaking into somebody's house. So sometimes the impact of people's stories, man. I've seen like my story ain't no different than anybody else, man. You can ask any other guy with my similar story and it's the same background, man. Right? Uh Grew up in the city, joined the neighborhood gang. Uh Once you join the neighborhood gang, you go from there, right? You start seeing what you gravitate to, right? Do you want to gravitate to the guys that just want to be fucked up all day uh and not do nothing, right? They just want to be fucked up all day, either by alcohol. Back then it was Tolly. It was paint, right? Huffing paint. So uh I didn't want to be fucking huffing paint all day. Uh, I wanted to go, play basketball, talk to bitches, and you know do that. But then as you get older, the bitches start looking at what you're wearing, and you want to start looking nice for the bitches. So you start gravitating to, okay, well, I don't want to be getting high all day. So what I want to do, like, I want to be talking to these bitches and smoking weed and looking nice. Well, how do I go about that? So that's just my thing, man. I want to go back and how you doing, V? Good morning, V. I just want to go back to my old hood, man, and hopefully one day I'm able to, man. I can document it and show that it's possible, man. That the I wish growing up that I there was people in my city, man, that were trying to help and show the youth something other than what the older guys in the hood were showing us. Cause I was young, man. I learned all my shit from older people, right? Older homeboys, my brother. Uh, the guidance that I had was just, was bad, right? I mean, it is what it is. It wasn't like but to me at the time, it was survival, man. I wanted new stuff. I wanted to survive, and uh, you succumb to that, man. But there was no other options, man. That you can say, man. Who can you go talk to and be like, hey, don't do that, man. If everybody around you is doing the same shit, it's kind of hard, man. The rec center was the only place you could go and be a kid for a little bit, man. And you know, but once you left the rec center, you became somebody else, man. I guess the rec center for me would be like the boys and girls home for other people in other cities, man. The rec center for me is like, where you go play ping pong, basketball, uh, board games and whatnot at the rec center, right? And you chill there, it's AC, and it gives you time from being outside in the Texas heat. But once you start coming in smelling like weed, they don't want you in there, man. They kick you out, So now it's like, fuck. Now you got to be outside. I think I'm going to do that, man. I mean, and don't think I'm letting that dude off the pass, man. That dude is. I'm still gonna go through it, man. But at the same time, I don't have money to just to be throwing out like that, man. Right. Right now he's claiming homelessness. I have up to a year from the last time he said something stupid, right? From the last time he posted that video, right? I have a year. And hopefully by that year, he's established and I know where he's at. And, I don't want to be wasting money, man. I don't have money to be wasting, right? I'm not fucking rich to be just throwing money for a simple apology. For a simple apology, because I'm not asking for money. Once I can find him served and go through the proper motion, I don't want to be paying service fee after 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 service fee, right? Because I just talked to them, right? I'm like, so every time I have to every time you go out there, I have to pay the service fee. She goes, yes. So it's like every time it's like so now I don't live in Flint, Michigan, right? So now it can be a money grab for the service processor, right? The service processor can just tell me, yeah, we went up there, he wasn't there, you still got to pay the fee because they're wasting their time and they're wasting their gas and they're still got to get paid. So there's a lot of things, man. In about a year, he has to be right now. I'm giving, he made a public video. He said he's homelessness. Uh, he acknowledged the letter. He hasn't made any videos of misinformation. He stopped. He hasn't made any videos. So it's like they're gonna go. I'll go and be like, okay, he acknowledged it. By then, if he's so called moved out and he's homeless and he's moved into a new house or wherever, uh, school starts soon, man. School starts. All right. You're not gonna be having your kids not being settled down. I'm just saying if you did, which I know you didn't, right? I'm just talking and making you feel like, yeah, you got me, right? But at one point or another, you have to get established, man, for your family. You can't just be moving from hotel to hotel to avoid a simple civil. That's you shouldn't have to do that, man. Like, so at one point or another, you're gonna have to get established. You're gonna have to go enroll your kids in school. You're gonna have to provide an address, right? And then once you provide that address, would be your new residence, right? It's not like you're just gonna be. And if you're owning or renting, they're 6 months, 9 months, yearly contract leases. I don't know. You know what I mean? But right now, you made it publicly that you're homeless, right? I can't verify. I'm not gonna drive all the way up there to Flint, Michigan, to verify that you don't live there, man. So I have a year, man. It's a year from the last video you did, right? It doesn't matter that video right there. The last video you did, that's where we start from the year, right there. That should give me sufficient time for you to settle down, be established, and I can finally, serve you, right? Because then I'll be able to prove, hey, look, he's lived there, uh, right now, so far you've complied. So far you complied, and but at the same time you made it publicly that you're homeless. So I can only go from there, right? But I'm still going to do it. I'm not going to be wasting. Right now, the server goes, they don't find you. I have to repay them again to have you reserved, right? And the way you're avoiding the simple letter, you're going to be dodging these guys left and right, man. And it's going to be me wasting money where I can be wasting that money on my kid. I got a year to find you, which I will find you. Right? I know you're still at the same place, man. I know you still live at the same place, right? But you're going to continue to avoid the server. I'm not rich, man, to be throwing money to find you. I know where you're at. You're at the same place. You're not. You haven't moved out, right? But you're going to avoid the service. If I knew that you were going to be a straight up man and accept the process and go through the motions, which you're not, right? Because you're avoiding it, right? You're avoiding it. You can't handle things like a businessman. A real businessman would have accepted that letter and would have gone about the next steps. That's what a proper businessman would have done, right? If you were ever to send me a legal document, I would have replied to you, be like, here, man, here you go. But you don't even want to do a simple that, right? So it's like I'm gonna waste money, right? For an apology. Like I said, I don't want money. I want an apology. But you're too much of a coward, right? That you spread all this misinformation about me, right? That if you were so confident, why not just go to court with me, man? And show to your fans, because we basically got the same audience. Everybody that watches me watches you, and show to them that what you were saying was true. Let's prove it to them. But you know that all the misinformation that you were spewing was incorrect. But you've been complying, right? You've been complying. You just like you said in your last text that you sent me, you weren't going to talk about it. You were going to leave it alone, and you've complied, right? You've complied. The misinformation, the lies. So many people believed you, right? There's no way I could have gone in there and defend myself with so many lies. I would have had to lie to people, right? I can't lie. I know he still lives in the same place, right? I know he still lives in the same place. But he's a sneaky little rat, right? He's just gonna go back into his little hole. He's not gonna come out. He's not gonna accept the letter, right? He's not gonna accept when they come knocking at your door. Right? Because these people are the server, they're not gonna kick in your door. They're just gonna knock and they'll leave. They got things to do, right? It's like a bill collector. You can avoid a bill collector coming knocking at your door. Eventually he'll get tired. Two things. He's gonna get tired of knocking, or he's ran out of time. He eventually is gonna have to go home. So it's a game of cat and mouse, right? Cat and mouse, cat and mouse, cat and mouse. Now, if he lived in Dallas, it'll be a lot easier, right? I could go fucking drive up there and wait for the service processor and be like, look, I found him. He's right here. Right. It'll be a lot easier. Right. I would have to go drive up to Flint, Michigan, and basically stalk this dude, right? To know where he's following him and do all that. That would be me basically giving him ammunition. So I'm going to continue. Right now, he made it publicly, right, that he's homeless. So I have to give it a few days, few months to actually see if he's really homeless. All right. And then by then, if he's no longer homeless, he should be established because he has kids. You have a family. You have to settle down. You can't be a nomad, moving from one place to another. But so far, you've been complying, right? Yeah, I have a good one, man. I'll probably be back later on. I gotta go to my doctor's appointment. Thank you. Y'all have a good Friday.